Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, what is up? The Kingu of Lightning is here today, bringing you guys and gals One Piece wa Jitsure Suru, yeah! People, One Piece chapter 812 review. Now, it's been almost a week, but if you have not seen the live reaction to the chapter just yet, then I suggest that you do. And there will be an annotation right here, as well as a link in the box below. Now, this chapter One Piece, before I get down to the nitty-gritty, let me say this. As a Sanji fanboy, okay, as a member of the ever so prominent Sanji over Zoro fan club, okay, the Sanji over Zoro fan club, strong. 1 million members strong. Made up numbers. But listen, here's the thing. I am really stoked to see what is coming when it comes to Sanji and VINSMOKE and the Charlotte family and the marriage. I'm just excited. Because Dressrosa was a year and a half. No, I'm sorry. It was 2.5 years long. And we didn't see Sanji for like a year and a half. And when we did see Sanji, he was overshadowed completely by Kaido. And I'm like, fuck. So my man Sanji, even when he does show up, he's being completely overshadowed by Yonko Kaido. So, as a Sanji fanboy, as a fan of One Piece, I have to admit that. But the fact of the matter here is that now Sanji's getting the focus. He's getting the spotlight. And he deserves it. Because he hasn't been around for what appears to be eons. So, Sanji, finally, it is his year, 2016. And myself, as well as the other Sanji fanboys and fangirls, are stoked beyond belief. It's here. It's not coming, it's here. So, that being said, let me clean my pants and make sure there's no stains. Alright, okay. Yeah. So, the nitty gritty. Number one, the pacing. The pacing of this chapter, basically, you have a little bit at the beginning with Capone and Peckham's reaching Zou. Then you have, like, a lot of the stuff involving Sanji, Nami, Chopper. Well, no, not Chopper, because I didn't see him there. But, you know, Brook. No, Chopper too. Yeah, why not? Momonosuke. In the Mokemo Dukedom, the right belly whale forest, I believe it is. And basically, it's Sanji doing his thing when he's frolicking with the mink. Which, like, listen, the end of the chapter was amazing for Sanji. The beginning, not so much, not so strong, all right, not so strong because my pride as a Sanji fan kind of dwindled a little bit when he's frolicking with the subhuman minks, and I'm like, oh no. Because that is a very dark and dirty road, man. That is a dark and filthy road. So, I'm still debating as to whether or not Sanji drops down to number 2 and Enel becomes number 1. Because that was a heavy blow. Like, my pride as a Sanji fan just took a massive hit. Like a sucker punch to the jaw. And I'm still reeling. Almost a week later, I'm still reeling. So, but yeah, that was that. I mean, at least he went to Nami when he saw Nami in that dress. And he's like, oh, Nami Swan. And then she's like, no. But at least that was still there. Then, after all the Mokemo Dukedom stuff, Right Belly Forest, we switch over to Capone and Sanji, Brook, and Peckham's having their meeting in like somewhere, some other place, which goes awry fairly quick, because and not so good for Peckham. Peckham's he was having a good day, but then the day wound up ending up shit because Capone was like, no, fuck this shit. And then after that, you have the end where they're meeting up inside of Capone's Shiro, inside of his castle body, if you would, and they're basically talking about Sanji's future. So that being said, pacing wise, they did cover a lot of stuff when it came to the second part of the chapter, the third part, and also the fourth part. The first part was very minor, not that big of a deal. But parts 2 through 4, they did cover a lot. So pacing overall is going to be okay plus to good. Now, when it comes to characterization, this is where the bulk of the chapter is. And what's important here to note is at the end of the chapter, yes, Sanji does get the vast majority of the spotlight, as he should, because 2016 is his year, stated by Oda himself. However, let us not ignore the previous events of the chapter before the Sanji VINSMOKE reveal. So, number one, Momonosuke, he seems to be like pseudo-depressed. He is basically hiding from the mink. Either it's deliberate on his own, or it's because Brook and Sanji want him to hide because he's a Wano Kuni citizen. However, it's alluded to that he's not feeling well, like mentally in some regards. And I understand that because Jack was looking for Raizo, perhaps Momonosuke was feeling down about that. How someone that he loves or someone that he knows well, Raizo, he's being hunted by someone like Jack, and that's very worrisome. But at the same time, it's also how the mink, they probably hold animosity towards the Wano Kuni citizens because Jack came into their country and raided their country looking for one of the Wano Kuni warriors. So the details aren't really like there full on because Momonosuke is in hiding. He's in his room. And we haven't seen Momonosuke a lot in flashback time as well as real time. So that's kind of iffy. I'm not sure what's going on there full on, but it is something to note. Because Wano Kuni, it's not prevalent now, but it's going to be really soon probably. Like after Zou, Wano Kuni's probably next. Or perhaps maybe the Sanji stuff is going to be melded with the Zou stuff, and then you're going to have Wano Kuni after that. Who knows? Either way. So that's number one. Number two, Caesar Clown. A few things here. Number one, don't call him a doctor. He's a pharmacist. So make sure that you get that right. Number two with Caesar Clown is the fact that Caesar Clown reveals the details as to why Big Mom is looking for him. Because he basically was tasked with doing some research, which he lied about, so he can get the money for the research. And since the research bore no fruit, Big Mom wanted her money, but Caesar Clown said nah, he took the money and he ran. So that's the reason why they're really looking hard for Caesar Clown. And the fact that Caesar Clown also was talking to Sanji about assassinating Capone. Like, the guy understands that he's still, quote-unquote, an evil dude. He's still, like, he's the guy that had no problems experimenting on kids, okay? He's the same sadistic, fucked up guy. So it hasn't changed. So even though he's under the watch of the Straw Hats or the Spiral Hat Pirates, he still is a messed up dude. So that hasn't changed. Now, when it comes to Peckham's, this one is fairly surprising. Because Peckham's, nowhere in here did I ever think that Peckham's would so willingly take the knee, all right, to go on both knees and bow in front of Sanji and Brook and honestly, earnestly thank them for saving the people of his country over Big Mom's orders. I never thought that was possible. And that shows you that Peckham's is actually a very honorable dude. I never saw that being the case, but the guy had so much honor to where he had to thank Sanji and Brook and company in some way, shape, or form for saving his people from Jack. If not for them, they would have died in mass. It would have been an absolute genocide of the highest order. And they saved them. And Peckham's, he was truly thankful for that. And so Peckham's, he decides to go against Big Mom's orders and basically let it be known that I couldn't get Sanji or I couldn't get Caesar Clown and we have to try something else. So that was kind of cool. Peckham's made a drastic character change in this particular chapter. There is no doubt about it. That is huge for his character. Absolutely massive. Unfortunately in the chapter, Peckham's, he got done in by Capone. Now we go to Capone. Capone and Sanji in this chapter have the biggest characterization bar none and character development. So, Capone. Crazy. Number one, he has a 300 million berry bounty on Manga Panda. And folks were telling me that this shit, it's funny. Folks said, yo, go to Manga Panda translation. They fucked it up in the funniest way. Capone on Manga Stream has a 300 million berry bounty On Manga Panda, he has a 3 billion. The dude is worth 3 times. Yeah. Oh my goodness. The dude, no, bottle stops. Yeah. The dude is worth 3 times as much as Jack. I was like, no. I was like, son. Like if you had just read Manga Panda, right? And you saw that 3 billion, you would have thought to yourself, Capone must have been doing the most fucked up shit for the past 2 years to get a bounty of 3 billion. 3 billion. That's some Dragon tier shit. 3 billion. Manga Panda, you fucking up in the game. You fucking up in the game. Goddamn. I mean, Capone was doing some nasty stuff. But I think 3 billion is just a little bit too hefty for the dude. Just a wee little bit too hefty. So, that was enjoyable. I loved that. That was hilarious. I laughed my ass off. But he has 300 million. Let's make sure for the Manga Panda exclusive readers, he has a 300 million berry bounty. Okay? 300 million. And it's revealed that his powers are the Castle Nomi. He's a castle man. The Shiro Nomi. Now, in this particular chapter, he displays absolute ruthlessness. He guns down Peckhams. And not only that, but he has his men appear from, outside of him. From within him, I should say. And he's able, and I think this had to be observation hockey. But he not only is able to have his men find and capture Chopper and Nami, but also he's able to pinpoint Caesar Clown's location above him. How do he know that? I'm not too sure, but it had to be observation hockey. It had to be. So he's able to pinpoint his location. The guy falls down. He tricks him saying, okay, fine. Fire the Kairoseki bullets. Oh, wait, I don't have any Kairoseki bullets, but I do have one Kairoseki spear. Jab. The man was phenomenally effective in this chapter. Phenomenally. And I'm sitting here like, listen, fuck Drake. There's because people love Drake. I'm like, no. Capone, he delivered. Holy shit. He was effective. The dude regulated hardcore as fuck. And by the way, speaking of fucks, fuck Chopper. He had some guy called Vet or Vito, whatever you want to call him. He was the one that captured Chopper and Nami. So he had hostages right then and there. And on top of that, again, Caesar Clown, come down from there. How do you know that, bro? Capone was impressive. He was very impressive, okay? I mean, maybe there was some person, because his body is a castle. So maybe there was some person with like binoculars inside of him, and that person saw Caesar Clown. Maybe that's what happened. I'm not too sure. There could be a whole host of reasons as to how he knew that Caesar Clown was up there. But nonetheless, it does show that because of his ability, because he has all of his men stored inside himself, and because of his mentality, the guy is very effective. Very effective. No doubt about it. So Capone had a lot of characterization. A lot. And then finally, Blackleg Sanji. Find out. After Capone and him sit and they talk, he offers him food. Keep your shitty food. Alright, okay. So, gives him a card. And Sanji, the third son of the VINSMOKE family. So right there, huge! Because listen, we're talking about like 700 and like 60 plus chapters ever since Sanji was introduced into the story. Never knew his family name. And as of last week, or technically this week, if you want to consider actual releases, not scanlations, whatever, Sanji's name was revealed to the One Piece fandom. VINSMOKE! Oh, yeah! Oh my goodness. A lot of hype. VINSMOKE Sanji, third son of the VINSMOKE family, has to marry, is scheduled to wed the 35th daughter of the Charlotte family, Purin. So Sanji's family has direct ties to Big Mom's family. Big Mom's family. That's heavy. That is heavy for Sanji's character. Undeniably heavy. Because understand that Sanji's backstory initially was him on that cruise ship cooking as a chef, or not a full-blown chef, but as like an assistant chef, whatever. He was there and he was working in the back as cooks, and when he was working on this cruise ship, they were raided by Zeph. And then his backstory goes from there to where basically him and Zeph are stranded on this island. Zeph has to consume his own leg in order to survive, and he owes Zeph a lot. And that was the bulk of his backstory. His backstory has a second part to it. Before he was on that cruise ship, before all of that, who was Sanji? And people for years have pondered, they've thought, the theories are there's so many. There's so many theories. You can go on YouTube and you will see a host of theories. A wave, a myriad. But fact of the matter here is that in this chapter, we have Sanji's family name VINSMOKE. And somehow, some way, this all leads to Sanji's bounty, a world government-based bounty, to being only alive, which means either A, the VINSMOKE family have ties to the world government, or B, the Charlotte family has ties to the world government in some way, shape, or form. It could be both. It could be C, or it could be D, something else entirely different. Who the hell knows? But that is very fascinating, very mysterious, and oh man, I'm just salivating. I'm just like, what could it be? What could it be? It got the fandom in a tizzy. Truth be told, it really did. And that, my friends, is clearly the best characterization in this chapter by far, bar none. So finally, when it comes to story progression, basically, Peckham's is down, and they're all captured. And Sanji has this massive task ahead of him to all of a sudden go to some location and marry some woman that he's never seen before. So story progression wise, you're setting up this massive event in the future with Sanji and his family, the VINSMOKE, and Purin and her family, the Charlotte family. And on top of that, it appears that, maybe I'm going too far, but it appears that Capone has usurped Peckham's position of power amongst Big Mom's crew. Capone is going to tell Big Mom, listen, Big Mom, your boy Peckham's, yeah, he was going to wind up saving Sanji and Caesar Clown. And I had to take him out, or I had to shoot him in the back. So, can I take a spot? He may have risen to a very high position within Big Mom's crew, just by him being able to follow her orders to the T, and Peckham saying, no, I'm going to go against them. So the rookie may have rose in rank exponentially. So that's also a thing to keep in mind as well. And story-wise, that's really it. So characterization, the chapter is where it shines. That's a clear yo in my mind. Then you have story progression. That's actually very good. Like good plus the great. So that being said, the overall chapter rating is going to be the highest rating that I give. And that's going to be a And I'm done. So I do want to say, before I actually end the video, quick thing. Like I alluded to before, there have been a lot of theories about, Sanji at this point in time. A myriad of theories. And a lot of people are saying how Sanji, like his wife, is going to be the three-eyed girl in Big Mom's ship. Because Sanji's name, San is 3. And Sanji is he's the third son of the VINSMOKE family. People have noted that, number one, this girl has 3 eyes. And number 2, when you look at Big Mom's flag, notice how in Big Mom's flag, there are 3 spirals when it comes to the candy. So you see the correlation of the 3s, all right? There's a lot of 3s going on here. And I'm not too sure if that's going to be the case, where he's going to marry the 3-eyed chick. But, I mean, I've also heard that, like, let's say Sanji, his father, is one of the Gorosei. I've heard that his father is actually one of the Tenryubito. He could be, I mean, in my mind, here's what I think, honestly. I think that the VINSMOKE family are a secondary royal family. So remember how, like, 900 years ago or 800 years ago, the original royal families of certain countries, they left to Mary Jo's pub? Except for the Nefertari family in Alabasta, they're an original royal family. Well, I believe that the VINSMOKE family are a secondary royal family in a certain region of the world, like the Riku family. The Riku family, they are a secondary royal family. In my mind, the VINSMOKE, they are also a secondary royal family. That's what I think, but who knows? We'll find out. And also, people are saying how Purin may actually be the real name of Lola. Please, no. Please? Please? Like, can we not have that? Because Oda would troll. He would love to troll Sanji so hard. I'm sorry, he does troll Sanji. He trolls Sanji massively hard a lot of the times, and I'm like, no, just give the guy a fucking break, okay? A man can only take so much, okay? A guy like Sanji doesn't want to spend the rest of his life with a fucking mammy, all right? He wants to have a beautiful looking wife, to say the least, okay? Don't fuck him over, please, because Oda, he's sick like that, all right? He's a sick fuck. He really is. So, at least in that sense. But that being said, I'm done. So, there's a lot of theories out there, a lot of thoughts about Sanji, his country of origin, who his family actually is, how we've seen them before. When it comes to the person that he's going to marry, have we seen her before? Is she someone entirely new? Is she part of Big Mom's crew? That kind of stuff. So, and also, who has the ties to the world government, to where the bounty can be only alive? Is it the VINSMOKE family? Is it Charlotte family? Like, so is Charlotte to Lilin? Is Big Mom herself, is she, like, kind of similar to Ace and Luffy, to where their family are a marine family, but herself, she's a pirate. She went against that. Just how Garp is a well-known marine, but Ace and Luffy said, well, fuck that shit. We don't care. We're going to be pirates. So, very curious to see how this is going to pan out. So, again, there's a lot of stuff, a lot of theories going on out there, but I'm going to take a step back for now. I'm going to see how things play out, and then in the future, I'll give my thoughts here and there. So, that being said, I'm done. So, King of Lightning, rate the video, comment, and subscribe as always. Peace. Have a nice goddamn day.